Welcome back. Hey, this is going to be episode 2 of a 5-episode series on Rob Carrich's wonderful add-ons for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Next up, we're going to be looking at the McDonnell F2H-2 Banshee. This particular airplane saw service during 1947 to 1962. The F2H-2 is a derivative of the FH Phantom. It had a service ceiling of 47,000 feet and could cruise at 461 miles per hour with a max speed of 580 miles per hour. The jet itself is powered by two J-34 Westinghouse engines, and this aircraft was used by the United States Navy, the U.S. Marine Corps, and the Royal Canadian Navy. Armament was simply 4 20-millimeter guns. Would have been probably mounted right in the nose of the airplane. Yeah, right there. Okay, well, that makes sense, doesn't it? F2H-2 was also a carrier-based aircraft as well as a land-based aircraft. You can see here that it does have an arrestor hook, but if it's like the other aircraft that we've already looked at, the F9, F8, I do not know if the arrestor hook functions or not. Again, detail is superb. I just really like looking at these airplanes. The texturing and the coloring is just impressive. And if you've ever had the luxury of seeing one of these in a museum, they're just magnificent looking planes. They're symbols of a bygone era in military aviation. So let's go ahead and look a little deeper, shall we? As with the other aircraft that we looked at, the F2H-2 Banshee, its flaps, arrestor cable, and cockpit are all controlled by your flap keys. So hitting F7 will lower your flaps to their first setting. Hitting them again will extend them completely. A third time will bring down the arrestor hook and open up the cockpit. Alright, so let's go into the cockpit, shall we? The cockpit this time is a little simpler. Gauges are pretty much the same. They're a little older than what they would have been in the F9, F8. I like the interior of this aircraft a little bit more. Let's see what's clickable here. Avionic master switch, APU switch, arresting hook handle, so you can lower it from the inside the cockpit. That's interesting. This one has radios. Here's your autopilot. And again, you're going to find some stuff that doesn't work and some stuff that does. So it's just a matter of figuring it out. Engine throttle 1, 2, flaps. Let's go ahead and drop the arresting hook and see. I'm curious. Okay, yeah, it doesn't do anything from the cockpit. So that remains the same there. Landing gear, flap switch. Jettison your tip tanks? No. Alright, well that is the cockpit of the F2H-2 Banshee. Let's go ahead and fire her up and take her for a quick little shot around. This will be a... I don't remember where I'm at. We are at KSTL. This would have been where the first flight of the Banshee actually took place. There's supposedly an abandoned building near the airport that exists to this day that housed the McDonnell Aircraft Corporation. So I thought this would be fitting to take off from here. And once you start the engines, you get your pilot animation, pilot avatar. Decent sound too. Alright, engine 1 and 2 is started. And you will have to start the plane. Control E will fire up any one of these planes. Alright, let's get out to the runway, shall we? Alright, the aircraft itself has a really good sound set. It does have decent cockpit lighting. And I want to add that in my video for the F9, F8 Cougar, it does have interior lighting. I was looking for the switches. You got to hit the L key and the cockpit lighting turns on. That away. So, just so you know. Moving pretty fast here. Speed brakes active on the wings, or air brakes. So on January 11th, 1947, the F2H-2 Banshee took its first flight over this airport. This is another one. It's not overly difficult to fly. And it fits into Flight Simulator 2020 really well. So frame rates are decent. Detail control is really good. And if you want to fly from something from this era, these are just fantastic airplanes. I don't know what that little white dot is. That was weird. Some reflection off the airplane. That's okay. Yeah, there's another. I'm assuming that is because this is a earlier version of aircraft, not specifically designed for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. It's still worth some attention. That nose kind of dropped hard, huh? Now you can get this airplane same places you got the other one, SimOuthouse.com. Again, really good site, decent bunch of people. You just got to go into their Warbirds library and download the ones for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Well, I think that's going to do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I've sparked some curiosity. And again, I want to thank you. Thank you very much for watching. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.